Hey everyone, and welcome to another session on how to build in No Man's Sky. In today's building guide, I would like to show you how to build a helix using the new building techniques in No Man's Sky Frontiers. As usual, we start off with a circle, which I already prepared myself. If you are not sure how to build a circle, then I would link two techniques in this video description for you to follow. That way we can keep this tutorial concise and as short as possible. It does not matter what size of circle you build, they can all be used to construct a helix. Keep in mind, however, that the larger circle, the more diameter the helix will be, and the higher you will have to make it look like an actual helix. I prefer using a circle of 24 or 32 sides, as that creates a nice effect. No matter what size of circle you have chosen to build, you should end up with a circle of walls like you just see here. We will be using the inner circle here as the basis of our helix. So let us begin with setting up the first preparation. Let us place a large floor here, which we will be able to duplicate later on, and place some on the other locations of the circle so it's easier to reach. We can now locate our large floor here on the bottom of our wall and then adjacency to a small floor panel. Then we just duplicate this floor here and once again adjacency to a small floor panel. And we need to do this on each side of this circle, so we have a nice circle out of small floor panels. And let me just speed that up. Once we have all the small floors in place, we can now remove the large ones here, as they are no longer useful. On the outside of our small panels, we will now snap a light floor. And if we snap it right here, you can see how nicely it slides underneath our wall. We of course need to rotate our light floor to ensure that the connector will be facing in the right direction. So for example, if I rotate the light floor like this and place it, you can now double check and see that the connector is facing outwards. This means when we glitch a building part on that connector, the building part will be glitched with its top side outwards as well. If you wish the building parts to face inwards, then we should have rotated our light floor with this line on the opposite side. This will then change the direction of the connector and also the building parts you snap onto it. So let us now place the light floor on each of these small panels, making sure all of them are rotated in the proper direction. What you will do next depends a bit on what your plan is with your helix. If you don't have a foundation where you could align your helix with, then you could simply glitch everything straight on the connector of the light floor. But if you would like to have the helix line up with an existing build or floor, then we go one step extra. That means we will be preparing a wire that will be straight up and the connector of it will be perfectly lined up with the edge of the walls here. So let us select a wall out of the menu. It does not really matter which one, we just need a part that snaps on top of this wall here. And then we reverse wire glitch to have a wire instead of the wall. Now we pull that wire to the connector of the light floor below. And we will do that on each of the walls. As the connector of the light floor is perfectly centered below our walls, we create a perfect straight up wire. This results now in having a connector on the edge of the wall and also aimed in the same direction of our light floor below here. This means everything glitched on that connection will follow the direction of the connectors, in this case outwards. So let me do this on all of these walls and I will be back once all of them are done. Okay, now all the wires have been placed, let us go and find our pavings. Let us start with the large paving and we will be alternating between them and the small pavings on each of these sides. Now, if you have an idea on where you want your helix to originate from, then you can plan ahead by starting with a small paving here. So let us glitch our first large paving right here. We skip this one and then glitch a next large paving here, skip again, and keep on doing this until we are back at the beginning. Alright, now we fill the gaps in between with the small pavings. Just wire glitch each of them on the connectors on the edge of the wall. And there we go, this is the basic setup for our helix. The plan was to have the helix originate from here, so let's start off with snapping our first triangle here. It does not matter what type of material you're using, it will not make any difference. Let us duplicate this small paving here and then snap it on top of here and also here. Then we skip these two and place 2 more small pavings here and here, then skip these 2 again, and so on. And there we go. Now we can duplicate this triangle here and snap it on top of the paving here. Then duplicate the large paving, snap it on top of here, and then duplicate the triangle and place it on top of that. And you can clearly start to see how the triangles are lining up nicely and creating the first few steps of our helix. So now we can just duplicate the large paving again and keep on placing these on top of each other following the sides here. Now we want to stack them on top of each other so that the next side is always a step higher than the previous one. And there are quite a lot of them to do, so I will speed this up. Now that we have set up our helix, we can now duplicate our triangle here and snap these on top of each of the pavings. And you can see how nicely these triangles are following the shape of the circle and the direction of the previous triangles. And our helix is starting to take shape. Now this is only the foundation, we can go many directions from here on how you wish to finish this helix. You can also create a double helix by making a second curve starting from the opposite side, which then would fill the space a little bit more. Or you can even divide it into 3 parts and make a triple helix. You just need to divide this circle properly. Now, before I go and delete my pavings, I want to show you a few applications you could use for your helix. For this, we will be using the Universal Adjacency Glitch. If you are unfamiliar with that one, I will also link it in the description below. Let us delete a few triangles here, and let me place a pipe on this side here. Now, what we're going to be doing right now is store our pipe inside our wire cache and then duplicate the triangle here. Bring it to the top side here, and then keep an eye on how your triangle is rotated so we can follow the same direction on the next steps. Once happy, glitch back to the pipe by pressing the buttons for reverse wire glitching. And there we go, the pipe now has been placed instead of where the triangle would have been, and it also follows its direction. And we can do this now on each of these, making sure to follow the same direction as before, which in the end will result in foundation of pipes, which then can be used to make a helix made out of pipes. It is also possible to create a foundation out of wires and then use the wires as glitch points for other solutions. There are many styles you can go from here. So let me place back the triangles. And then we go outside of this one and we select a floor out of the menu and we snap it against it here. And we can do this against each of the triangles on this helix. Just make sure you follow the curve. Now we can delete the triangles. Then we place the floors instead of where the triangles were before. Just make sure once again it is snapped in the right direction. Let us now delete the floors here and make sure we delete the correct ones. And now we can also delete the pavings. And this is how you build a helix in Frontiers. This is a rather straightforward technique and can be the foundation of some crazy looking builds and constructions. As usual, only your imagination is the limit. Be sure to check out the videos in the description and at the end of this video if you're looking into learning more about glitch building. Don't forget to smack that thumbs up and I will see you fine folks again for another video. This was Beeblebum. Goodbye for now.